Hello and welcome back to the Bird's Eye View podcast. We are here on the morning of Friday, September 19th. I'm your host, Zach Worden, joined as always by Jori Negin-Shecter. And we have a very special guest today. It is Chay Yeager, Toronto Blue Jays pitching prospect, 2023 12th round pick, 2025 Northwest League All-Star, and a future Arizona Fall Leaguer. Chay, thanks so much for taking the time to do this today, and we really appreciate you taking the time.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. I'm excited. First podcast I've ever been on, so it's cool.
You're going to do great. This is going to be amazing. I don't think we could have gotten you on at a better time, honestly, for you, coming off of the Northwest League All-Star nomination, just recently being named to the roster for the Arizona Fall League. What was 2025 like for you? I mean, obviously it's not done yet, but, quite a whirlwind. You get your promotion to Double-A, pitching at two levels and really succeeding. What has the year been like?
It's been really good. I think Vancouver, I was doing really well, and then getting that call up to Double-A was guys got a lot better. So really just turned into like a learning experience for me, and like growing as a pitcher, and just learned something new every time I was out there. So I mean, it was fun.
Chay, I want to hear more about kind of the way that you evolved as a pitcher this year. We read a lot. You did a couple of interviews and whatnot where you talked about your pitch mix kind of changing a little bit. And so I want to hear a little bit about that and your growth there as a pitcher.
Yeah, so I threw a death ball, or it was a hard curve ball, and I had a lot of trouble locating it, or a lot of hitters after I started throwing it for a while, and I saw it because in Northwest League there's five other teams, so you're playing them again and again and again. And so they started seeing it pop out of my hand, and then they just started spitting on it, seeing it down, or they'd sit back on it when they see it pop out. And yeah, so this year during spring training, some of the pitching coaches came together, and they wanted to teach me the gyro slider. And so that's helped me get in the zone a lot more with my heater. I'm able to land that as a strike. So yeah, the gyro slider, it's basically my fastball for 50 something feet, and then it just drops. So
what was the conversation like with them as they, proposed the gyro slider?
I liked it. I tried to throw it in catch play my first few times, and it started straight at his chest and then finished 12 feet that way. So I had a few balls in center field my first time throwing it. But I got on the mound, and they were just like, just throw it to the catcher's face and let the ball do its work. And it started working. It took me a few to figure it out, but I learned it pretty quick, and then it's definitely helped me a lot, and I really do like it.
What is that process like, taking what had worked for you at that point, had gotten you to pro ball and changing that pitch mix and learning a new pitch and putting your trust in the coaching staff to make that kind of decision alongside you. What is that process like for a guy, especially, just really getting their feet wet in pro ball?
Yeah, I mean, those guys know a lot more than I do, and I really haven't been pitching that long, and I kind of was just a thrower, so I just threw the ball harder, and the curveball it didn't really have anything behind it. I mean, it was a pretty good pitch, but I mean, if you can't land a pitch, like, people aren't going to swing at it, and you're not going to I can't throw it as a strike. So, I mean, they know a lot more than I do, and a lot of them have been in pro ball and have been where I'm at, so I trust them. So.
Obviously, a really successful year for you, especially, starting out in Vancouver this year. Obviously, the nod to the All-Star team. The pitch mix obviously very important for that as well. But where else do you feel like you kind of took a step forward this year on the mound?
Execution is a big thing, and I know execution in Vancouver wasn't as important, and so I could get away with a 0-2 heater middle. But in Double-A, like, those guys they're that. So that's one of my learning experiences there is big execution. So
Is there any like moment in particular you can think of this year where you were kind of like, okay, this is what I kind of need to do. This is how I can execute here. Is there a moment that stands out in your head?
yeah, Hartford. It was like my third week in Double-A, and I went 3 up, 3 down in the eighth, and then I get my 2 outs in the ninth, and it's like a 4-1 game, or 5-1 game, whatever it was, and I got 2 outs, top of the ninth at home, and I go 0-2 hit, 0-2 hit, 0-2 hit, and I get the last guy 0-2, and I'm like, I cannot leave another pitch like for them to hit it. So I just threw it on the plate and I ended up striking them out. But I mean, just that was one of my biggest learning experiences this year because I had that problem last year with the 0-2 pitches in the zone where I would execute pitches that should be 0-2 and I'd execute them 0-0 and it'd be kind of that was a big thing for me there. Like you gotta reverse those. So
We've heard a lot, obviously, kind of some of the structure within the organization changing this year, and we've kind of heard a lot about the importance placed on count leverage and maybe being in the zone a little bit more and kind of working ahead and kind of putting an emphasis on being in the zone. Is that something that you found that you took a big step forward on this year and was kind of a big focus for you?
yeah, my in zone percentage, I don't know the numbers exactly, but they were a lot better than last year, and I've executed a lot more pitches. I mean, I had about the same amount of innings as last year. 20, I think about 20 more strikeouts.
Yeah.
Cut my walks in half, and a lot of my walks are at the end of the year. So, but yeah, I mean, executing is a big thing.
Is that something you think you're most proud of, is kind of the ability to locate your pitches, or is there anything in particular this year that you really feel like you are really quite happy with the leap it took?
Yeah, I like being in the zone. I like going out there, and if they beat me with my best stuff. And that doesn't it's not as bad as going out there and walking three guys and then giving up a home run or giving up a double and then like you really beat yourself in that situation. I mean, these guys are really good and they're going to beat you sometimes. So I mean, have them beat you their best stuff and just don't help them out.
I kind of want to take it back to, I suppose it's this week when you find out that you are a Northwest League All-Star. I mean, is that something that you know before the announcement comes out, or is it kind of the announcement that you find out that way? And who's your first call when you find out, and what is
Yeah.
kind of the process of finding out that happened?
Yeah, I had absolutely no idea. And then it came out and I didn't know for about 20 minutes. And I looked at my phone. Alex Amalfi texted me. He was like, dude, let's go. That's huge. And then I called my dad and talked to him. So, and like my stepmom, and she wanted to post the picture. So sent that over to her. But yeah, it's awesome.
That's really cool. Yeah, congratulations again on that. Another thing I wanted to ask about too, I mean, for you this year, you get the promotion to double A. What was that like? How'd you find out? And was there kind of any fun stories behind the way that they revealed that to you in Vancouver?
Um, I was in Hillsboro, and I actually my phone I guess wasn't going off, so I got the call on the hotel phone, and it was Mayo calling, and then I my roommate Aaron Munson, and I'm like, oh, it's Mayo, and I'm like, he's still sleeping, and he just puts his hand up like this because he's right away. So I was on the phone, I look up, and his knuckles already out, so he was super happy
Yeah.
for me, and a pretty cool experience.
That's awesome. We kind of talked a little bit about, the difference between double A and high A a little bit. But is there kind of anything else about the two levels that kind of surprised you, whether it be, the lifestyle of Manchester versus Vancouver or just kind of anything along those lines?
Well, I loved Vancouver. Vancouver's awesome. I love Manchester too. I like the little downtown, and it's pretty nice. But yeah, the big difference to me is stuff topples quickly. Like you can get behind, and then that guy gets walked on first, and the next thing you know, it's a double next pitch, and then I mean, you really have to be focused on your execution, or like I mean, it's not hard to give up five and get one out, in that kind of baseball, and everyone's stealing bases. Everyone does their homework, so they know your tempo is coming set, and if you're not mixing them up, they're taking first pitch. I mean, the catchers will take first pitch, and like they will be safe by a mile just because you're not holding them on right. So
Did it feel like as the year kind of progressed, you kind of got a little bit more comfortable with double A? Did it feel like it was like there was definitely sort of progress for you?
yeah, for sure. I mean, everything's a learning experience there. And like when I struggle, I just try to take the positives out of that struggle and just try not to repeat that struggle again. So there's a lot of mistakes I made, and then I found new mistakes to make. So I'm definitely learning a bunch of new things, and so it's definitely getting more comfortable to me.
Just going back a tiny bit, because you mentioned you really loved Vancouver. Was that your first time north of the border?
Yes.
And what'd you think?
Oh, Vancouver. It was awesome. My girlfriend loved coming to Vancouver. We always did something cool. There's so much to do there. We're like right on the beach, or not, or the rock beach, but yeah, it was a little walk there, but I mean it was like out of a movie. It was beautiful.
That's awesome. I know you obviously were there for a couple of years once you started there in 2024. And so in 2024, you guys go to the Northwest League Finals. And one thing that I kind of noticed about it seems like, we've had a couple guys from that team on, and it seems, kind of from the outside looking in that there was like a really good camaraderie in that group. And, over the course of the season, like all of you guys have kind of like slowly made your way to Double A. What is it like to, kind of like develop those bonds and to be able to move up through the system together?
Yeah, I mean since draft camp, I mean we've had a all the guys are awesome, and like it's always a good time coming to the field, and we always hang out, go out to eat, and have a good time.
For you as well, I mean, this year, a couple more opportunities to maybe step in as a closer and get some saves. Was that kind of a new experience for you?
Well, I got in Vancouver. I was coming in really late game and stuff, but I think later in the year I had to get some more innings and stuff. So I mean, if I go out in the seventh inning and I have like 10 pitches, they'll probably send me back out.
Right.
And either with the eighth, like my last outing, I came in last Friday, and I had a quick eighth, and I came in there, and Brent was like, "Hey, go get the ninth. Like it's yours. Go get a go get a save." So that was pretty cool. My first double A save was my last game.
Nice. Very nice. The two innings, yeah. So that's
Yeah.
that's really cool. Is there is that kind of something that you'd like to do a little bit more going forward? Like kind of, try out being like a firm closer or anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely like getting the innings, but I mean, if I love going in there and just it's up to me to win this game. So I mean, I really enjoy that kind of mentality, and yeah, that's just the kind of guy I am. I like having those situations, and I like winning. But I mean, I know with those situations comes losses and stuff, and that's how some people get away from it. But I mean, I've handled a lot of losses and stuff, and just you got to win more than you lose.
Sounds about right. We've heard from some others, obviously in the organization. Some say they go out there and they're kind of like a bulldog. They want to run through everybody. And we've heard from others they're more kind of just go with the flow. I think the word used. I mean, I think of just the other day there was the post-game interview with like Trey Savage after his first start, and he was like it was a trance. Where on that spectrum do you think you kind of fall?
Definitely the bulldog. I like. I've kind of um, from Vancouver to New Hampshire. I've kind of calmed myself down a little bit, or I guess channeled it a little more, and not have been because I mean you got to be a pro when you go out there. You can't be too out there, and yeah, just because yeah, I mean, just guys are getting older, more mature, and those guys are good, and like so I think I just channeled that a little more and being more professional and handle a little better. So
What does your bullpen routine look like as you're kind of getting ready for a game when you know that you might be coming in? Are you, kind of like, shotgun in the Red Bull and trying to get yourself amped up or anything like that? Are you getting velo slaps in the bullpen? What does it kind of look like for you?
yeah, so I'm pretty high mentality, and so like if there's a game situation where I'm going to go in, I'm moving around in the around the fifth, doing my bands, getting ready, and I'll definitely crack a C4. I love
Yeah,
C4s. Um,
very nice.
I'll sip on a C4 and do all my plyos and get ready when they call my name. It's on the mound, getting hot quick, I mean, because you never know the situation you're gonna go in. It could be, hey, Yeager, can you get 2 batters from now? And so you got to get hot in 2 minutes. I mean, that could be 3 pitches, and a guy's reaching his pitch limit has to come out. So
what's your walkout song?
it's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll AC/DC.
Ah,
Oh,
look at
very nice.
that.
Very nice.
Very
Did
nice.
you keep that Vancouver and New
Yeah,
Hampshire?
yeah.
Nice, nice. I'd heard that you are kind of like a big football guy in your warm-ups, like throwing the football around, running some routes. How do you kind of find that that helps you get ready for outings?
I just think what I've come to. I mean, the football is pretty heavy, and like every
Yeah.
time I throw the football, I touch a baseball, and it feels like it's hollow to me. So I um, I think it just helps get my arm moving and stuff, and it's better than doing some stretches, ripping some plows. You kind of have some fun with it. So
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
Yeah, I know Skeens is a big
Yeah,
football guy too, so really
yeah,
He's
cool.
got all the other stuff too. He's got that like
The
water
water
thing on the
bag, yeah.
back,
yeah,
and it's like it's something different.
yeah.
Are there any specific pro pitchers that you kind of like to watch, or any relievers, or any guys that you maybe model your game after at all?
Um, yeah. I mean, I like Paul Skeens a lot just
Yeah,
because both throw pretty hard. He throws a little harder, but uh, yeah. Just I mean, he knows how to execute the pitches. I mean, he's a big leaguer for sure, and so he knows when to throw it and where to throw it. So that's something I like to watch him doing, and just he'll go like a slider out, and then he'll go heater up and in, and the guy's got no chance of touching it. So
yeah. He's hey, it's a good one to follow for sure.
yeah,
I want to bring it back to the Arizona Fall League as well. What is the conversation like, and what is kind of the how is the process unfold for them and you to kind of decide to continue your season there?
yeah. So I actually got the invite, and I was like, because my roommate Alex Amalfi was my roommate, so
Okay.
he got it about a few weeks before me and stuff. So just kind of, I thought the invites were gone, so I wasn't it blindsided me getting the invite when I was just sitting there, and Brent told me, and I was like, wow, like that's crazy, like,
Yeah.
and just I mean that kind of opportunity you don't really pass up. So it's something that I'd love to get 10, 12 more innings and show them that I can keep throwing after after September
Yeah.
or into September, so October and stuff. So show them that I can keep throwing, and I can stay healthy and keep my velo and everything. So stay consistent.
Is there anything about the AFL that you're really kind of excited about? Because it's kind of a bit of a meeting of the minds for a lot of like everything. You know, you get these top prospects there. Last year, I think Jeff McNeil was like rehabbing there. Like you're gonna get a whole bunch of really kind of interesting opportunities to face some really good hitters potentially.
Yeah, yeah, I'm super excited, and it's going to be challenging, but I mean, I think it's just a great opportunity, and I can't wait to see Arizona. So I've heard a lot about the golf courses there too, so I'll definitely looking forward to some of the golf courses there. So
You're a big golfer?
I play a lot of golf.
Very
Yes.
nice. How were the courses in Vancouver?
Oh, beautiful. I mean,
Yeah.
you're sitting on a tee box, and you got a par three, and you got ginormous mountains behind it, or I mean, it's insane.
What's
What
your
is
handicap like?
I was going to ask what the best part of the game was, but you can go there.
Um, I'm like a mid 80s. Never broke 80, but I'll go one over on the front, then I'll go nine over on the back. So I can do it. I can never stay consistent on the golf course, and it's a
Uh,
little fitting, but I'll put the work in. I'll
that's
get
What
there.
pretty
is
good. That's
what,
still
I
not
mean,
bad.
I would love to be there, and I'm not even close.
Like,
So,
yeah.
what is the best part of the golf game? Are you like better off the tee box on the green,
Yeah,
kind of, or in between?
probably my wedges.
Yeah,
Really good. Driving can be hit or miss. I can't putt. That's my problem. Like I wouldn't play it when I was in Vancouver, and I was on the green in two every time, and then I four putted I think 9 times. We're like it's terrible.
yeah,
Oh,
Yeah,
that's so real.
chunk
frustrating
my
game.
Yeah.
a chunk turned the green, so I don't know how it's possible, but I somehow find a way to do it.
Um, so that'll be big in Arizona. Obviously, you know, a big group of pitchers going. Is there anything that you've heard about the AFL experience outside of the golf course that you're kind of looking forward to?
Yeah, I mean, I heard they treat it like it's the big leagues. Like
Nice.
they're gonna treat us really well. They're not like they're gonna treat us like we're big leaguers. So I'm really excited to see what that's like, and just I heard you get some cool jerseys too.
Yeah. Yeah, you get to wear the Blue Jays jersey, so that's pretty
So,
sweet. You mentioned, kind of wanting to add the innings and show that you can kind of hold your stuff later into the season. Is there kind of anything from an execution standpoint that you kind of have as a specific goal for the time that you're there?
yeah, I mean, I gotta. So we study the hitters and we do our homework as well. And just I mean, if someone hits a ball up and in, like McGonigal hit one, they were like, "Do not throw him a fastball up and in."
Yeah.
I mean, I threw him a fastball up and in, and he hit it. But yeah, just I mean, knowing where not to throw it, but still being able to execute in the zone.
Right.
So if they up and in or middle in or some like it middle out where they stay behind it and drive it. So like those guys get in on their hands and don't give them a chance to do what they want to do and how they hit the best.
This episode of the Bird's Eye View podcast is brought to you by BioSteel. Use code Bird's Eye View at checkout for 20% off your order at biosteel.ca. Again, that's code Bird's Eye View at checkout for 20% off your order. For all your high performance hydration needs, visit biosteel.ca. Thank you again to BioSteel for sponsoring today's episode.
I want to take it back to your draft experience a little bit and for you kind of landing with the Blue Jays, obviously in 2023 out of a junior college. For what was kind of your draft day experience, and did you know that it was going to be the Blue Jays, and how did you? What was kind of the overall story of you ending up with the organization?
Yeah, so I was with my family in Georgia, and so I kind of like they were saying maybe like late round day two something, and then I was talking to a few teams and stuff, but I mean I was really happy to go with the Blue Jays. My girlfriend was wearing the Blue Jays hat before I even got drafted by, so and my
Nice.
was too. They love the Blue Jays gear. But yeah, I was just sitting there on the couch, and then I got the call, and then it came on the TV and stuff. So I mean it was crazy. It was an awesome moment for me and my family.
So kind of in the lead up there, as you kind of head towards the draft day, um, the blue like how much were you kind of in talks with the Blue Jays and with the scout there, like how involved were they in that process?
Yeah, it was really cool. So my scout was Brandon Bischoff,
Right.
and so, we talk about everything. Like we talk about golf and just whatever's going on, and so yeah, I mean, I had a lot of great conversations. Probably the best conversations I've had with any of them. So I mean, I really like the Blue Jays, and I got to go see the PDC and stuff because my junior college was only like 30 minutes from there,
Okay.
so I got to check it out, and I was like, wow, like I could play here. Like this is like the most insane facilities I've ever seen. So yeah, I mean, I definitely had the most in touch with the Blue Jays than any other team, and so I was really hoping, and yeah, it worked out pretty good.
Jay, I want to hear more about kind of your two-way stuff as well, because in college, if I read correctly, you played a little bit of kind of the left side of the infield as well. What was your work with the stick like?
Yeah, I was a pretty good swinger. I could hit the fastball pretty good, but uh, my kryptonite was changeup. I could
Hmm.
hit a hanging slider, a hanging curveball, but I mean, you threw me a good changeup. My arm was stuck, my head was off. I wasn't even looking at it. So I had to be yelling at me and saying I was barring my arm, and I was just sitting there. I was like, I know I can't hit the changeup, but I can't. What it's like hitting a splitter, like a Trey Savage splitter.
Yeah.
That would my helmet would probably fall off, and I'd probably
How did you kind of end up pitching then? Because I know you were an all-star in JUCO as a hitter. So what was kind of the decision like to go with pitching and how did that end up happening?
yeah. So my freshman year, I just played third base and hit four hole all year.
Wow.
Had a good year. I like third base because you like you don't have to think. Like when I'm sitting there thinking, if I'm playing short, I'm like, how am I going to play this ground ball?
Right.
But if someone hits it 110 miles an hour, you just catch it and just throw the ball. So I like that a lot. So I ended up going to the All-Star game at Tigerland, the Tigers spring training complex, and
Okay.
so I played. I got invited as a third baseman, so I hit, had a few hits. I mean, the guys were throwing upper 90s. It was Miami-Dade against all the other junior colleges, and so played third base for about, I think it was about 9 innings, and then sat there for a few, and then had a good day hitting, and then someone was like, "Hey, I saw you pitch a little in high school. Do you want to get on the mound? Like, there's some scouts here," and they were like, "You'll be the last one to throw. It'll be in about 4 hours." And so I talked to my dad. I was like, "Yeah, I'll do it." And then ended up just took a nap on a tree, and then I woke up and he handed me a Red Bull,
Yeah.
and then I hadn't been on a mound in probably since high school, and I just got on there and it came out of my hand, and then all the scouts started coming behind my catcher, and then talking to my coach was behind me, and then he was like, "That was 96," and I was like, "Wow," because I was throwing 91, maybe 92 in high school, so I was just wow, and then it just kept coming out really good. I was throwing strikes, and I mean, it was pretty crazy. And then right after, like, I had zero offers out of my junior college. Like I had wasn't talking to any pro teams or anything, and then right after that, like I had to get an agent. And,
Wow.
so my coach didn't want to handle all the calls anymore.
So it's like something out of a movie where it was like you just kind of you found it almost, eh?
Yeah, I mean it's a blessing to get that opportunity, and how little it might have seemed at the time is, I mean, it's turned into so much more for me.
How have you kind of found that your experience as a hitter has helped you as a pitcher?
I mean, when people executed pitches on me, I took some pretty bad swings, and when people didn't execute, I'd hit the ball pretty hard, and so for me, like I know guys can hit the baseball. Like I know I could hit the baseball, so I know this guy who signed in the second round can hit the baseball probably better than I could. So just trying to work around where he hits it best. So I mean, because I'll make mistakes. I mean, it happens. It's baseball. Like you fail a lot. So just try to minimize those mistakes.
For sure. For you signing with the Blue Jays, how familiar were you kind of with the organization when you kind of went through the process and as the draft unfolded?
Not really at all.
Okay.
Just talking to Brandon, and I showed up, and I remember meeting all the guys. They're like brothers to me now.
Yeah.
I mean, we're such a good group of guys, and like combine really well as a team, play good as a team, and always just pick each other up, and are always there for someone. So yeah, I think up until then, until I got to the PDC for draft camp and stuff, I mean, we put some team building exercises and stuff, so got to know them really well. But before that, not really much.
Did you grow up a fan of any particular team?
The Braves,
Okay,
Okay.
that makes sense. Yeah. Who was your
The
guy?
big three?
Andrelton Simmons, where
Oh,
because
Oh, well, there you go, because the hitting. It's
yeah,
the
so
shortstop.
we're
That makes sense.
all's go to die. So my dad, but yeah, because I remember he went as a pitcher, and I was like, I can play shortstop, and then
yeah.
started making some insane plays.
Yeah, he was legit.
Yeah,
I know for you, obviously, so if you were a Braves fan, just kind of doing some reading that you threw a complete game shutout to
yeah,
win your state championship at Truist Park. That must have been like so cool then for you.
yeah. I mean, so I pitched the first game, and I went 7 innings, like 2 hits, um, 12 Ks, I think.
Wow.
And so this is the team that beat me my freshman year in the Final Four, and then my sophomore year. And so we had something to prove that game. So I mean, it was a lot of big student sections on each side, so they were having some fun with each other, yelling in. But yeah, I ended up playing second the second game, and I remember sitting on the infield, like I was looking for just a tiny pet place, like some tiny rock or some kind of mess up on the edging, and I mean it was flawless. I couldn't find anything, so it was like walking on a cloud.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so cool. And I would imagine, you're standing there and you're probably thinking, well, I mean, this is where Andrelton Simmons played too. So, um, have you kind of had like any welcome to pro ball moments, as whether it be in spring training or kind of around the PDC where, you see a big leaguer who you kind of grew up watching and that's a pretty cool moment for you or anything like that?
Yeah, so Kevin Kiermaier is from my same hometown, so I've had some good chats with him,
Nice.
and so I mean it's so cool how him being how he is and being a Gold Glove and all this, and him just talking to me in the outfield is like he's just a normal guy, just have
Yeah.
normal conversations with him. So I mean that's definitely he's a really good guy. So great talking to him.
It's pretty cool that he like kind of made his way around the different levels, with Vancouver in New Hampshire. And I believe he would have been with you while you were in New Hampshire, as he kind of went around. What is kind of your connection with him like? Like, are did you kind of know him before this all unfolded, both being from Fort Wayne?
Yeah. So my dad coached his brother in Pee Wee football,
Okay.
and he graduated with his brother. So I talked to him, and so he remembered my sister from high school and stuff. So that was it was pretty cool to kind of talk to him about like our hometown, and it's not super big, but like seeing the spots where everyone goes and eats and kind of talk about all that.
Yeah, that's really cool. One thing kind of with the organization this year, we kind of mentioned some of the philosophy changes this year. But I mean, the pitching development this year seemed to take like just a huge step. Yourself, Trey Savage, some of the guys who got traded, Cal Steven, Jerron Watts Brown, Gage Stanford, like just so many like really, really great stories from the organization this year. From your point of view, what kind of contributed to that and what has kind of been the shift on that side of things?
Um, I mean, I know in Vancouver it was throw strikes and like you could get away with a lot of stuff, but like once I got to New Hampshire, it was executing pitches now. Like I got to execute this, so it's a big jump, but I think I because my in 2024, my first year in Vancouver, I struggled to throwing strikes, and then I built that up and not mastered it, but got a lot better at throwing strikes and stuff. So I think in this next year, I'll definitely be able to build on the executing the pitches. So I think I'll get a lot better at that. It's something that I'm going to work on every single day. So
When you mention executing, is that more of like a field thing? Is that a numbers thing? Is there like stuff you're looking at the data and it tells you, or is it more when it kind of comes out of your hand, it's like, okay, this is how it's got to feel.
well, executing for me is hitting a spot. And so that's a like I mean I threw so many 0-2 middle pitches where like they're putting damage on me, and it's just like I could have gone up and got a strikeout. I could have gone down and got a strikeout. So I think it's just trying to do a little too much sometimes maybe, and instead of 98%, I'm trying to do 102%, and then it's just too much, and my body can't catch up, and it's just yeah, it gets hit pretty good sometimes.
We talked a little bit about your goals for the AFL. And, as you kind of go into the off season, what are obviously it's still a couple months away at this point, but what are you going to be kind of focusing on as you progress throughout the off season and kind of working on your game?
Yeah, I really want to work on the fastball up. That's where
Okay.
my heater plays the best is up, and that's for me. It's the hardest pitch to throw for me. I mean, because you go a little too up, it's a ball, and they see
Yeah.
it up carrying, so they're just seeing it above their eyes, and they're taking it. Or if you leave it just a little too low, that's where it's pretty much middle, and so they can see that pretty well. So, and then my slider, I want to. I've my metrics are a little they're not always as the same. So trying to hone that pitch in and have it like consistent shapes and stuff. So, but
And do you spend your off seasons back home in Georgia?
yes. So I'm actually doing my throw. So I'm at my girlfriend's farm in Hartwell, Georgia, right now, and I did my throwing into hay bale yesterday. So
That's like something out of a movie. That's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. That's so fun. Would you kind of have like a facility that you train at in the off season, or is it, I guess, any hay bale, any wall, anything you can find?
Um, yeah, I work out at home plate in Peachtree,
Okay.
and it's really good gym and stuff. It's just kind of hard for me to find a catcher
Right.
because I've had people try to catch me and they're like, I'm not doing that.
No thanks.
So the hay bale
Yeah, it's
suffices
a
for
lot of
occasion.
nets and hay bales, or I'll set up the 9 pocket and stuff, but
Right. Yeah.
9 pocket's not too fun to throw on.
Guess trying to
Yeah.
catch 95, probably not the easiest thing to grab someone off the street and be like, hey, you wanna try to do this?
I guess that kind of does for that does it for like any baseball questions we have. But one thing we talked a little bit about the golf. What else are you kind of into away from the field? Like who is Chay Yeager when he's not in baseball mode?
Yeah, I mean, golf's probably my number one, and I love hunting. I
Nice.
go on a lot of bird hunts with my girlfriend's dad and her family. Like we take the whole family out for bird
Wow.
hunts, which is pretty cool. They have a pointer, and the dog will go find the birds and stuff. And then we got
Nice.
a little Boykin Spaniel that will go get them, make them start flying and stuff. But yeah, I mean, I love deer hunting, spending time with my family, and just being home is awesome, especially being gone as long as I am. Seeing them, they come see me a good amount, so it's good just to be home again and sit on the couch and watch a movie or something, have family dinner and stuff.
Nice. Nice. Well, I think Jory, that kind of does it for us on the question side. Shay, we really appreciate you taking the time to do this. It's been awesome to kind of follow your progress this year and follow all of your success, and we'll keep following in Arizona and going forward. And yeah, thank you again for doing this.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun, and you did great. So really, really appreciate the time. That is Chay Yeager, a Toronto Blue Jays prospect at Double A and soon to be a Glendale Desert Dog. That is going to do it for us here today at the Bird's Eye View Podcast. Make sure to hit the subscribe and like buttons if you're watching on YouTube. You can find us there at the Bird's Eye View Podcast. If you're listening along on the audio provider of your choice, make sure to drop a follow and review. You can follow us all on Twitter. I am at Worden_Zach. Jori is at Jay Negin-Shecter, and the pod is at BEB_pod. Thanks so much for listening.